last train. If you calculate your hourly wage, it makes you want to cry. Gacha. In some social game. Yikes, that shit is genuinely terrifying. Spook. I was like, Nanny, what the fuck? So I... You degenerates really got nothing better to do than listen to my toilet-tier rants this late at night, huh? You're probably just staring at the ceiling in bed, messing with your phones. I get it, because I'm doing the exact same thing right now. Alright, today I'm gonna drop some knowledge that time and money wasting goobers like you. And yeah, that includes me. Absolutely need to hear. I'll cut to the chase. Today's topic is the War of Attrition. Before I start spitting, here's a quick table of contents. Number 1, a guaranteed lost swamp story dedicated to our late night post-nut clarity. Number 2, a war of attrition with no winners. Why can't we just back out? Number 3, setting the pull-out line. Being an absolute unit comes down to knowing when to quit. And finally, we're done here. I'm going to sleep for tomorrow. We're going in that order. Don't hit me with that too long. Didn't read bullshit. I'm gonna break it down step by step at a middle school level so even brain-dead lads like us can understand. Let's get right into it. Number 1, a guaranteed lost swamp story dedicated to our late-night post-nut clarity. Are you degenerates listening to this dumping your entire net worth into a guaranteed lost game again? And I don't just mean money. I mean your time and sanity too. Look, the other day, Up Here committed an absolute 28-3 tear choke on a limited gacha in some social game. Yikes, that shit is genuinely terrifying. At first, I tossed in a few thousand yen just for kicks. On the first 10 pull, I saw the guaranteed rainbow animation, but it was a spook. I was like, Nanny, what the fuck? So I thought, alright, I'll get him next time. No big deal. But then, 30,000 yen melted away, then 50,000 yen. Suddenly, the reason I'm pulling ain't because I want the character anymore. It turns into the pure terror that if I stop now, my 50,000 yen vanishes into the digital void. My heart was pounding, hands sweating like crazy. Looking at my credit card statement literally makes me want to puke. Just one more pull, one more and they'll drop. I kept telling myself, mashing the microtransaction button with shaking fingers. Next thing I know, I'm right before the pity ceiling. I'm like, bro, this is fake as hell. Full-on post-nut clarity hit me. In my head, I knew dumping more cash was brain dead. I knew my living expenses for the month were gonna get wiped out. But if I backed down right there, all the cash I dumped so far would turn into pure garbage. That scared the shit out of me. In the end, I pulled all the way to pity and got the character I wanted. But all I had left was this massive, hollow feeling of loss. You guys love seeing others suffer like this, right? Laughing my ass off. Actually, it ain't even funny. Then there's that pointless dick measuring contest at work. You know, the chicken race of who can stay the latest to show off how hard they're grinding. That guy is still clacking away on his keyboard. If I go home first, my evaluation might tank. You don't even have any real work left to do today, but you sit there pointlessly changing font sizes on a document. I bet the guy at the next desk is doing the exact same thing. Deep down, both of you just want to go home. But out of sheer stubbornness, you stay until the last train. If you calculate your hourly wage, it makes you want to cry. I used to play along with that shit for a while, but seriously, who the fuck even benefits from that? Sigh. What the hell am I even doing with my life? You degenerates have similar experiences, right? You definitely do. Laughing my ass off, he's seething because I hit the nail right on the head. I feel you, bro. Alright, let's get things straight. I got sidetracked, but let's bring it back to the main topic. From here, we're doing number 2. A war of attrition with no winners. Why can't we just back out? This is gonna be on the test, lads. I want you to completely separate the pathetic personal story I've just told you from the academic concept of the War of Attrition I'm about to explain. Separate your feelings from the facts, bro. Have you goobers ever heard of some big shot scholar named John Maynard Smith? Well, it might be too complicated for you clueless normies, so just check the wiki for the detail. That absolute unit of a Chad came up with this concept called the War of Attrition. Tip in the big words, it's basically a swamp battle where you and your rival keep paying costs like time, money, and stamina until someone drops out. And even if you win, the cost is so high that you barely keep any profit, or you just take a massive L. It's the worst kind of game. Let me give you an example even brain-dead lads like us can grasp. Picture this. Let's say two cafes open up right next to each other in some business district. At first, they're just running normally, but then they try to steal each other's customers and start a messy as hell price-cutting war. The first shop puts out a sign saying, "Our coffee is 300 yen starting today." Then the shop across the street goes, "What? Oh, all right then. Ours is 200 yen and we'll throw in a slice of cake." Then the first shop refuses to take the L and gets stubborn like, "Fine. We're gonna stay open late night and make our interior fancy as hell." Both owners are convinced that guy is definitely gonna tap out first. We still got stamina, so we're good. But guess what? Neither of them backs down. They think pulling out means losing. The rival owner is losing his mind like, "Yikes, we dropped our prices this much and they're still going? But if I pull out now, all the ad money and renovation costs are wasted. I ain't ever backing down." If you look at it calmly, they're both losing. But the guys actually in the middle of it think they lose only if they back out. It makes you go, Nani. What the fuck? The important thing here is the existence of the sunk cost. Humans only see what they want to see. The more massive the cost you dump into continuing the competition, the more you tell yourself, "I've already invested this much." Loss aversion kicks in and you literally can't pull out. And what do you think happened? In the end, this brain-dead competition lasted for a year, and eventually, one of the cafes went bankrupt, and the other one claimed victory. You'd think they're like, "Hell yeah, we won, right?" Press X to doubt. The remaining cafe was drowning in massive debt. The staff was completely burnt out, and it took them years just to get back to normal profit levels. They won, but it ain't a W at all. It's a war with no winners, honestly. Nobody gains shit. It might go against your intuition, but this is reality. Winning itself becomes the goal, and even when rationally you should pull out, you get tied down by stubbornness, pride, and sunk costs, and just keep doing irrational shit. Oh, what's that? You thought that was pretty interesting, didn't you? If any of you Chads think op is an absolute unit, just trust me, bro, and smash that subscribe button. No, seriously, do it. Alright, moving on. It's finally the climax. Number 3, setting the pull-out line. Being an absolute unit comes down to knowing when to quit. This is where the real shit starts. So the question is, how the hell do we get out of this swampy war of attrition? It's simple. Before you get swallowed up by your emotions, you gotta draw a clear line and say, if it gets to this point, I'm backing out. You're probably thinking, what the fuck? That's just common sense. But you degenerates can't even do common sense, which is why you're melting your time and money on useless garbage. Pressing to doubt. To jump for we lose. Toss that assumption in the trash. When people start getting stubborn, the brakes literally stop working. Thinking in 0 or 100 is just brain dead. You always gotta objectively compare the max profit of pulling out right now versus the max profit of keeping it going. Put yourself in the other guy's shoes. The other guy is just as stubborn and can't pull out either. The guy who can keep a straight face, go, doing this any longer is pointless, and hit the cut losses button is the one who benefits the most. Instead of sinking into the swamp, the guy who runs away early is the real winner. It's the same with horse racing or pachinko. You leave the house deciding, I'm only spending 30,000 yen today. But the moment you lose yen, you go, oh shit, I gotta aim for a one-shot comeback with my last 1,000 yen. The guy who can just go, hit my 30,000 limit, gonna go home and sleep, is the real chap. Even with work projects, you see ones where it's clearly a massive L. They keep going, right? They're like, we've already dumped hundreds of millions of yen into this. We can't stop now. That ain't business anymore. That's just praying. You degenerates might think running away means losing, but that's just your headcanon, isn't it? It's a strategic retreat to protect your resources. That's what makes you a true, absolute unit. A guy who stays stubborn and fights until he's completely wrecked is just a brain-dead goober. Kinda like me with my gacha. Ooh. My flip-flop is drilling so hard I'm gonna tear my shoulder. This is a real educational moment right here. My statement is such an undeniable truth. Laughing my ass off. I'm dead. Clueless normies who don't know this are just gonna get milked for the rest of their lives. Seriously, watch out. Alright, last thing. And finally, we're done here. I'm going to sleep for tomorrow. Well, I've ranted enough. We got our conclusion. And if I keep dragging this on, the sunk cost of our sleep time is just gonna keep increasing. Keeping this up is just gonna tire us both out. Op is smart. So I'm gonna cut my losses clean right here and go to bed. Boom. My absolute victory declaration. Ending it before someone says, laughing my ass off, this thread is dead, is how a top-tier chat does it. You degenerates go to sleep early too. You've got another trash-tier game of a daily life waiting for you tomorrow. Anyway, don't be pointlessly stubborn. Have the balls to pull out clean. Oh yeah. Next time, I'm gonna explain the telescoping effect. Alright, we're done here. Officially dead.